Welcome to the Dental Marketing Guy Show. I'm the Dental Marketing Guy. Today I have a very special guest. For many of you, she needs no introduction. She was voted one of the top 25 women in dentistry by Dental Products Report. Dr. Anissa Holmes has effectively mastered the skill and the use of social media with a Facebook following of nearly 48,000 fans. As a practicing dentist, author, podcaster, and speaker, Dr. Holmes shows dentists exactly how to create a profitable, thriving dental practice which has motivated, inspired team members and patients who are raving fans. She also teaches dentists how to get the best ROI on social media. Dr. Holmes is one of the top iTunes podcasts with the Delivering Wow Dental podcast, and is also the author of the book, Delivering Wow, How Dentists Build a Fascinating Brand and Achieve More While Working Less. Welcome, Dr. Holmes. How are you?
I'm doing great, Justin. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it's a huge honor because I know you interview a lot of movers and shakers on your show, so I love having experts like yourself on the show.
Good stuff.
So you're here because what you do is you teach dentists basically how to build what we call on the Dental Marketing Guy Show the dental dream, or the dream dental practice. And that looks different for every dentist. And we did an interview just the other day with Dr. Tuan Pham, and we were talking about how, everybody has a different vision for their life. But ultimately a lot of the problems that dentists face, I find, can be solved. Many of them can be solved by just getting new patients. Social media is one of those things that you're really good at, and you're really good at teaching. Can you tell us how dentists can gain new patients through, say, Facebook advertising?
Absolutely. So to me, Facebook or social media is huge, because Facebook allows you to be able to share the story of your practice. And it's really quite amazing. So of course, in the past, when somebody wanted to go to a dentist, they would grab a Yellow Pages, right? And they would flip through the Yellow Pages and they would say, okay, I see this ad, or this ad, or this ad is better than this ad, and they would choose their dentist. But things have really changed. And I really ask, dentists, or ask people, when was the last time you actually looked through one of those books? So things have really evolved and changed. But the amazing thing about social media is that you're constantly able to share your story when people are not thinking about a dentist. And to me, that's huge. And so what I always tell dentists is, just like you spoke about, what is your vision? What story do you want to share about your practice? And that's the story that you want to create in your social space. That's how you develop your brand. And your brand, I know that you know this as well, is what people say about you when you're not around. And building an amazing social media presence is a great way to grow your brand. And so your question was really, how can you get new patients through social media? Well, I can tell you some examples of what we are actually achieving in my practice. So I started my Facebook journey in 2010, and I started it with one patient liking me, or one person liking me at a time. And I started to share the story of my practice. I shared pictures of us out in the community. I shared pictures of my team, us having fun. And, there were some posts about dentistry, but it was really about the culture. And through that, people became interested. They became engaged. And because we were very consistent, they continued to follow us. And because we were able to provide value first, they really, like I said, they became interested, engaged, and then we started to see the conversions. And so now what happens is that we have typically 40 new patients every single month coming just from Facebook. And that is huge. I mean, most dentists want to have, 40 new patients in several months, and we're getting it every single month. And the patients that are coming in, they know us already. Like, they've been to our website, They know the team. They know that we are offering some amazing, experiences like, iPads to take away the sound and complimentary hand and arm massages, because that's our culture and we're sharing it. And so because they know us, they come in, they're connected, they're ready to actually come in. So that's how we're using Facebook to really connect and engage. And again, maybe they're not even, close to my practice. Maybe they're an hour away or something. But if one of their friends needs a dentist, we're going to be at the top of their mind.
Excellent. Yeah. And you talk about telling stories. I mean, that's the kind of content that prospective dental patients want, because prospective dental patients don't think of themselves as prospective dental patients. They think of themselves as human beings, and human beings love stories. So I like how you say, I mean, we ultimately it's to get new patients. Ultimately, it's to build rapport with your existing patients. But I like how you basically said in a roundabout way, look, we're not just trying to shove dentistry down these people's throats.
Mm-hmm.
We're telling them who we are, what we're about. And I'm sure you found that basically to juxtapose or compare it to a lot of other dentists who don't really understand social media marketing, they might say, oh, well, we buy Google AdWords, we do SEO and stuff like that. But if you don't have the culture side of it, the human side of it, what have you found as far as, I mean, 40 patients a month from Facebook alone, that's amazing. But maybe you could go a little more in depth into what you found the difference is between being just kind of out there and being out there in a way that people can really relate to with those stories.
Right. And it really does come down to the engagement and the connections, and so finding out what it is that your patients or prospective dental patients want. And for us, we really ask our patients, we ask people on Facebook, what is it that you want? What's your resistance? What's keeping you from coming to the dentist? And what we found is that patients want to, they want to be seen on time. They don't want to wait forever. They want to have amazing, beautiful dentistry, and they want to have an amazing experience. And so because those are things that people are looking for, that's the posts that we actually create, those sort of, engaging posts. So when you come to our office, you won't have to wait forever. We will see you on time. If not, your next exam is free. Or, we're showing pictures of our patients getting the massage, or we have video testimonials of our patients sharing their actual stories in the practice of how their lives were being transformed. And these videos, of course, are going viral. And so what happens is that it's seen not only on our page, but it's being shared so many times. And so I think that's really, really key and really, really critical. And taking it a step further, you were asking me, how do so many people see your posts? And it really, comes down to being very strategic in terms of, creation of ads that will reach your intended audience. And so if for example, we're creating an ad about teeth whitening, we're going to target people who are getting married, who are a certain age, and we're going to target it to people. Sometimes we target it to people who are going to see it in our news feeds, and sometimes we don't. And when we don't, it's because we're trying to also grow our likes. And so there are very specific strategies that are able to be put in based on the objectives that you would like to achieve. But I mean, it's really quite fascinating what happens in terms of the viral nature of Facebook.
What would you say in terms of with videos? What would you say to those dentists who are listening who say, video, it sounds like a really big investment.
Right.
I've got a face for radio. There's dentists posting on Dental Town. They don't even want to do photography. Video scares the heck out of them.
Right.
What would you say to those dentists who are kind of struggling with the camera shyness?
Right. Well, I'll say this. A lot of what we put on our page, it's pictures of patients, and it's not actually even me asking the patients to provide the content. It's my team. They're using their smartphone sometimes, and we actually have a system for ensuring that we will get these these video testimonials, and it really has to do with our patient experience. And so patients come in, they get hot chocolate, they get coffee, tea, plantain tarts. We give them a tour. We show them our core values on the wall. Like, there's a whole process in our practice. And so by the time they get to having, to see me, for example, after they've seen the hygienist, they've already had the massage, they had, all of the music, they had a warm towel to relax them after a procedure. And so the hygienist will say, and this is the system, "How was your visit today?" And I mean, after all of that, they're like, "It was great," and then, and then I come in, and this is our system. And then I come in and I'm like, "Okay, hi, I'm Dr. Holmes. It's so great to meet you. How was your experience today? Was it great?" I mean, I'm not even asking them about their teeth yet, because we're, again, are trying to evoke an emotion. And they're like, "It was great." And I'm like, wow, I'm really happy, because we want to make sure that you're really comfortable. A lot of people are very fearful to go to the dentist, and we want to make sure you're okay. That's the focus of our practice. And people feel really connected. And then we go through the dental, exam, and we make our recommendations. Then they go to the front desk. The front desk then says, "How was everything today? Did you enjoy your visit?" And they're like, I mean, by that time, they've already acknowledged, and they know that we care, because we've already asked them 2 other times. And they're like, "It was amazing." And then by then they're like, "You mind if we just get that on video? Because we really want to make sure that other patients find out about our practice." And they're like, "Absolutely, come on, let's do it." And they're having a ball, and so it's really easy for us to get these video testimonials. And like I said, they're taken on a smartphone or, on an iPhone, and we're able to just save them. And in terms of video, I would recommend on Facebook, just putting it directly onto your Facebook page, not linking it to YouTube, doing it directly, and you will have more visibility if you do a direct upload to Facebook versus doing a link. But video is huge. It's huge. So even our pin post right now, we have a smile makeover competition, and I announced the competition over video. So I actually created a quick video, and I announced that we were giving away a free smile makeover. And because I actually uploaded it as a video versus a photo or just text words, so many people saw it. And I spent like $20 to promote it, and thousands of people saw it. And because it was an engaging post about us giving away a competition to change someone's life, it just went viral. So we didn't have to do anything after we spent the $20. Like, our Facebook fans, our community, they really did the work for us.
I think that's great. I talk to a lot of dentists who hit me up about SEO, and because that's what I do. Content creation is really big in SEO, because Google, Bing, and Yahoo, they want to put up the best result. And to boil it down to a basic tenet of how the algorithms work, if you're putting content out there that people are engaging with on social media, they read it, they absorb it, they convert. Google's looking at this and they say, "Hey, wait a second. How could we possibly put someone above this? We can't put someone above this, because they're the leader in the industry." So a lot of dentists contact me because they aren't creating content. What kind of SEO results have you seen as a result of creating so much content that people love?
Right. So we spoke about this earlier, and I am in a really great position. We are definitely #1 in our market, and pretty much every keyword that you type in. And part of it is that we were early adopters. So that, I think, is also key to actually make that point, because sometimes you come in a little bit later and it takes you a little bit more time to get that traction. But you will definitely get there if you continue to just put out that content. But, a lot of the content that we put out, are, blog posts. We are always posting, and changing up our website all the time. And we're posting, again, on our social media channels. We're on Instagram. I mean, we're kind of everywhere. We're on Google+, and I think that's really big as well. A lot of people don't really use Google+, but I mean, Google+ is owned by Google. So, that to me, that's sort of a no-brainer. To do that as well. But like I said, we're not really in my particular space, because I'm doing so many other things in terms of constantly putting out content. To be honest, I'm not really focused that much on my SEO, because I'm just organically just doing that by all of the things that we're doing in other social spaces.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. SEO is a result of your marketing efforts,
Right.
not the tactic being used, but just the end result is, hey, this is a leader in the industry. Just like you said, you were an early adopter. And I'd like to go back to the video thing right now because, you know, you touched on a very good point, and that was the patient was on the video.
Right.
It wasn't the dentist on the video, which I think is a great idea, but it's actually the patient on the video, which I think is in some ways a better idea.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And especially if you're like a, you know, I mean, you know, if you're a mature dentist, you know, like me, you know, maybe, you know, your patient is going to bring more excitement to the video, or, you know, sometimes it's even your team. Like one time I had a video that we put up, and it was my team member, and she was talking about, you know, why she had to work at my practice, you know, and that was really, really huge, because patients were like, wow, you know, if the employees are that happy, you know, that place might be a place that I need to go to. So, I mean, you just have to kind of be creative, but definitely it doesn't have to be the dentist, you know, taking the video. It doesn't have to be the dentist in the video, but I mean, it's something that the dentist needs to be aware of that can actually help them grow, and they delegate it to someone who can make it happen.
I think, you know, when you say you're an early adopter of the social media and all that, you were an early adopter of a website, right?
Yes.
Right now, would you say the early adoption that can take place now is video?
I would say so. And you know, there's a lot of changes going on right now with Facebook, especially in the last few weeks. And what we are seeing is that video is going to be huge. There's a lot of changes happening, and you see all of the Facebook emoticons going on and the reactions, and you see all of this stuff going on in terms of how they're collecting data. And you're seeing that you can actually create campaigns based on how people react to your actual content. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that's happening, but video is the way that it's going to be in the future. And I mean, you can see that like even on Twitter or any of these, you know, I mean, Facebook Live is going to be huge. You know, I mean, to me, it's just, again, all about video, and people are engaging with that. And that's why it's working. And that's why Facebook is putting it out there.
You know, it's like 20 years ago, dentists didn't have a website.
Right.
Now you're crazy if you don't.
Right.
You know? Right now, dentists are saying, why in the world would I do video? Why would I record my patients on my iPhone? Why would I do that?
Well, I can tell you, you have to be first. And I mean, I actually was, it's very interesting. I was actually, I think I'm just an early adopter. So when I came out of dental school, I actually created my website. That was like in 1999 or 2000 or something like that. And there weren't that many dentists that were doing websites. And I was like, wow, this is going to be huge. Like people can learn about your business, and, you know, you don't have to be like mailing stuff to them, and they can go whenever they're at home and find you. And so I actually created a website, and then Dentrix contacted me, and I was featured like in their campaign for like a year. And I walked into the Henman Dental meeting, and like my image was everywhere with my website. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, you know? But I mean, the thing about it is that, you know, if you can get in as an early adopter, you're gonna definitely be the leader, you know, in your community. So, you know, it's time to take action on that and not let that opportunity pass you by. I mean, you can get in later, but you're right. The early adopters are the ones who are going to have a much easier path to take.
It's funny because like if you write copy for a website and it's kind of buried somewhere in there, you can put kind of, I mean, the dentist will just approve it, right? But if you try and get them to say those exact same words on video, they won't. They're like, oh no, we can't say that. Well, that's what's on your website.
Right.
So video is like a filter. Like basically if you start with video, whatever you're willing to say on video, that's what should be in the copy of your website. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. And, you know, it's so interesting because, you know, I just finished writing my book, and I went back through and I looked at the copy again. And, you know, the first writing of my book, you know, I went through it and I'm like, gosh, it's just not telling enough stories. Like, and I said, I'm going to go back and I'm going to just really talk to the dentist and just, say, and so if I'm, if I am saying a contraction, it's okay. Or, I don't have to be so technical with my writing. And when you talk to people how you really sound, they connect with you, and so you're absolutely right. Like having that video and just being real with people, they connect with you. They know that you're a real person. And it's those sort of people that I can tell you in my practice, it's not stiff. It's not stuffy. We have fun in the office with the practice. They come in and we're high-fiving them. Hey, what's going on? How was your weekend? I mean, it's that sort of culture. And so the patients can just sort of relax and they're not so tense and thinking it's such a formal, stiff environment. The music we're playing in the background is like, you're at Starbucks or you're, somewhere like having a great time. It's just that sort of environment and people are connecting with that sort of thing. And at first, like I've been practicing for 16 years and I did not think that that was what was appropriate, right? So I was really like, when I came out of school, I was really formal and, I wore a suit and, I had played jazz and I was really very formal because I thought that's what people wanted from their doctor, was to be very formal. But I've actually had the most success just being myself and being real with people, and they connect and they know that you really care and that you're looking out for them. And I think that's really, really huge.
You think that authenticity comes through?
I think so. Absolutely. I mean, and it's just even like how we're chatting right now. I mean, we haven't prepared for this interview. I don't know what you're going to ask me. We're just having a chat like we're old friends, and to me is that sort of thing, with patients, you don't have to be so scripted out. Just, know what your objectives are, what you're trying to accomplish, but definitely be yourself and people will really connect with you.
I've found with these videos that, yeah, that conversational flow, like you're saying, and we transcribe these videos and we put it on a blog post, and what it's done is it's made content creation really, really easy.
Right.
Because I'm only saying the things that I would exactly say. A lot of people sit down, they're like, oh, dentists don't want to blog. Are you kidding me? When you were in dental school, when did they talk about blogging? Right? That's not why you went to dental school. That's not why you became a dentist. Maybe you like blogging if you're a dentist just by coincidence. But for dentists, that's not part of the job description. So
I don't know about that because I will say this. If you decide that you want to be, and there are different types of dentists, right? So you may decide that you want to have dentistry as your job, as your profession, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And so maybe you may want to work at a university. That's what you want for yourself. Or maybe you want to work for a company and you don't want the hassle of running a business. Or maybe, you reached a stage where you've done that already, you've done that, and you're like, I just want to go and treat my patients. And that's cool. That's absolutely cool. But if you're in that space where you are a business owner and you decide that you want to own your own practice, then you need to be able to learn some things about running your business. And that's the bottom line. And content creation, getting your brand out there is how business owners grow their businesses. And so I challenge dentists, all the time. It's okay, think a little bit outside of the box because you have chosen to be a business owner. And so when you do that, you have to think of things a little bit differently. Yes, give amazing dentistry. And I mean, we focus a lot on that. And that's the reason why, we're getting the 5-star reviews and the patients are giving the testimonials, because we are providing amazing dentistry. But to me, that's just one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. So it sounds like the dentists that you work with are real action takers.
Absolutely. And I mean, to me, that's the exciting part. I mean, you can kind of feel my passion coming through now. And like I said, every dentist is not going to connect with me, and, they say your vibe attracts your tribe. I'm not sure if you've heard that, but, my tribe are people who are action takers. They know that they want to get results. They just don't know how. And they say, okay, I want these results. I see what you're doing and I want them. Show me how to do it. And those are the people that I want to work with, people who, who want to really grow and learn. I mean, it's the same thing as being a dentist. You want to treat patients that when you say, okay, you have a missing tooth and putting in that implant is going to help prevent future problems, the patient is engaged, they're ready, and they're saying, doc, whatever you need to do, I trust you, just do what's best for me, you know, and it's those sort of patients that you want to work with, and it's those sort of dentists that I work with as well.
Excellent. Excellent. Let's talk about promotion. So we talked a lot about content. Let's talk about paid promotion and unpaid promotion on Facebook. What are some of the tactics? If you could give us a top tip or a few top tips on how to promote this content once we have it.
Right. So I can tell you some promotions that we typically do in our practice, right, that have been really engaging. So, and I've learned this just because I've tried so many things, and you learn by doing things over and over again. So what has really worked for us are things targeting new patients for procedures that they have to have anyway. And so one thing that we typically market a lot on is new patient cleanings, right? And what we do is we'll say, okay, we are going to do for the month of, and we have it going on right now, for the month of, and we're in March at this recording, for the month of March, if you come in during this month only, you will get your cleaning done at 50% off. Now you have to mention that you heard about it on Facebook. So if you're coming in any other source, you're going to be charged your regular fee. This is, you know, this is your reward for following us and being loyal. You'll come in and we do the cleaning, x-rays, and exam. Now, the reason why this works, there's several reasons. And the reason why this works is that it's something that everybody has to do. Everybody needs a cleaning, right? Not everybody needs an implant or dentures, you know, everybody needs a cleaning. And so you can just target that to just about anybody. The other thing is that when people come in and we are discounting, in a sense, that 50% off, that's actually our marketing expense. We're not paying for anything else. And when they come in, we're actually offering additional same-day services. So we offer to do sealants on our patients the same day, whether they're a kid or an adult. And I can tell you, I believe in them, which is why we offer them. I've had sealants on my teeth since dental school. And I feel like if there's something that can help prevent a cavity, why not go ahead and do it? And so we recommend sealants on all of our patients. Well, pretty much all of them. If you've never had a cavity and your grooves are smooth, you probably don't need a sealant. But for the most part, you know, if you're a candidate, we're offering that. We offer fluoride to our adults and kids. And, you know, it's very interesting because if a patient chooses to do 4 sealants, that is way more than the fee that we were discounting for the 50%. And a lot of times people are coming in and they're not doing 4 sealants. They're actually doing 8 sealants, or they're doing 12 sealants. So at the end of the day, you know, we are our ROI on that actual strategy of getting the patient in and paying half off. Sometimes we're making triple what we would have made in the same appointment in the same appointment time, because we're offering services that don't take very long, that have high margins, you know, not a lot of overhead to do a sealant or fluoride. So it's an easy add-on. And then, like I said, it actually brings in patients who become raving fans once they experience all of the, you know, experiences that we have. They're telling other people, which creates internal referrals. And, you know, not to mention lifetime value of these patients coming back for repeat. And we have tested and measured, because some people will say, okay, if you get them in one time, do they come back, or are they just coming for the promotion? Well, the thing is that once you get them in, you have to, what I say, continue to deliver. You have to deliver that wow. So you have to keep touching with them in terms of, you know, the emails, newsletters, and that sort of thing. And when they come in, they're getting an amazing treatment. And so I can tell you at least 80% of our patients do return in 6 months for their pre-scheduled cleaning, and they become lifelong patients. And so to me, that's a great promotion, the 50% off. We also do, you know, teeth whitening promotions all the time. Again, that's something that has really high margins, not a lot of expense put into that. And then also from time to time, we'll actually have a service of the month. And so we'll say, okay, for this particular month and this month only, we are featuring crowns. And so what we'll do is our promotional pieces for that month in terms of educational pieces will be on crowns. We'll show pictures of our before and afters of crowns, and we'll also create an offer. So they have read it, educational piece. They've seen before and after pictures of my actual work on live patients. Maybe we put up a testimonial, and we do have a YouTube channel which has all of these videos. Sometimes we'll link in that sort of stuff, just, you know, just coming at it at different angles, and then we'll put that promotion. So we'll say, okay, this month only, if you come in, you'll get an automatic, 5% off, and if you prepay, you'll get an additional 5, or sometimes we do more than that. But when we do these campaigns like this, we get so many patients that come in, and even though we're discounting the 5% or 10%, believe me, those are our best months ever.
Excellent. Yeah. And, I'm willing to bet that it has a lot to do with the fact that you're leading. You're putting out that content, you're educating, you're building rapport, you're touching base with these people. You can physically only be in one spot at one time, right? So for all the handshakers and door knockers and those that are hitting the streets to the Chamber of Commerce and all that, that's great. That's probably the best way, is face to face. But with email, social media, your website, these videos, you can be everywhere all at once at the exact time that people are searching for your services.
Absolutely.
So that's what I really like about that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And like I said, Facebook is really what I teach on, but I mean, we're also pretty big on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, and we've got actually a playlist for each procedure. So we'll have a playlist on patient testimonials. We'll have one on crowns, which will include, videos of what is the procedure, post-treatment instructions. And we actually use this a lot in our Facebook. And so what we do is, when a patient asks a question, we use private messaging a lot. So a lot of patients will send us that direct message, and we've actually customized our responses. And so if somebody says, how much is a implant, for example, we actually have taken the time to script out our responses. And, we can actually input in the patient's, the little section for them to input their name, that automatically puts it in. And we'll actually have a link to a YouTube video for an implant. So it will carry them from that, so it takes literally 2 seconds. And we also can do it from our Pages app on our smartphone. So we can respond to people. Sometimes we're getting messages, and I'm at home and I'm like on my phone, and it's 11 o'clock and somebody's asking me about an implant. And I give them a long, detailed, description of what an implant is. Here's a video, at 11 o'clock at night. And they're like, oh my gosh, these people are super responsive, So you can actually use, your presence on Google or YouTube to actually connect and merge with the strategies of social media through Facebook to even get more massive results.
That's excellent. That's great. Yeah, you've obviously seen some great results. I think that's great. 40 new patients from Facebook. Guys, you heard it here. Facebook, it works, but only if you do it right. Dr. Holmes, where can our listeners find you?
Right. So there's a few places, but the best place to reach me is actually, I have a free Facebook group. So dentists who are action takers who want to know more, they can go to Delivering While Hangout, and you'll be able to get free access to my private Facebook group. And the dentists in there are amazing, and they're like dropping, value bombs, not only about Facebook, but, why don't you use this, this scheduling application, or somebody's talking about social media, or they're dropping in their social media pages, and we're helping each other, which is really cool. So it's like an online mastermind. So Delivering While Hangout is great, and my website is Delivering While, and lots of blog posts on there, and my podcast, which is the Delivering While Dental Podcast.
Excellent. Well, you heard it here, folks. This is Dr. Anissa Holmes, and you know where to find her. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the YouTube comments, on the blog comments. If you see this on Dental Town, wherever it might be, feel free to comment. If you have any questions for me, I'm the dental marketing guy at dentalmarketingguy.com. And Dr. Holmes, thank you so much for delivering this value. I think many of the dentists who are listening to this, who are a lot of them are probably on the fence about Facebook. Like, I don't know, should I do it, should I not? It sounds like you can provide a lot of value to them to get started. So thank you very much.
Good stuff. Thank you so much for having me. It was lots of fun.
Excellent. All right, guys, thanks for watching the Dental Marketing Guy Show.